Well, folks, we are just about a week away. In fact, we are a week away from National Signing Day, Part 1. Don't forget, we have one in February. Christian Ballard here, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you live. I almost recorded this one, but I said, no, that's kind of dumb. Let's just do a live stream here. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Who's top 10 in recruiting? We're a week from signing day. We want to talk Bama. We want to talk Texas. We want to talk Georgia. I have, as Uncle Lou would say on YouTube, copious notes. Let me fix this here. I apologize. I need a bigger table or something. So what we want to talk about today, can Bama claim number one in February with a national championship? We want to look at Florida State, who has rose up big time at number 3. Also, should missing the playoffs affect Georgia's class? And we'll take a look at what they have. We'll take a look at what they have accomplished over the past couple years. I dropped the StreamYard link. I think I want to do this. What's up, Slim? I want to do this call-in style. I don't want to turn this into a big hangout. So if you want to be part of the show, just click that link. Come on. Who am I kidding? I can't. Unless I put call-in. I guess if we hang out, we hang out. That's fine. But if you want to be part of the show, the StreamYard link is there in the comment section of Facebook and YouTube. But the first thing we want to talk about, can Alabama claim the number 1 spot in February on the second signing day with the national championship this year? And I think they absolutely could. I think sitting there at number 4, rising up these past few months, past few weeks even, you have 5-star commits, 3 of them, and Ryan Williams from Saraland, Alabama, Carlsbad, California quarterback. Julian Sayin is a 5-star. Ryan Williams, a 5-star, by the way. Jalen Mbakwe is from Pinson, Alabama. He's a cornerback, not to be confused with a quarterback on offense. He plays defense. He's a 5-star, committed back in July, almost 5 months ago. So I look at this and I say Alabama is set up big time to do big things in recruiting. And the only question should be for every team is you have it set up. You know, Penn State has it set up, Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Florida State. We look at all these teams. The big question should be, how many of these guys can we get to actually come to school? And Alabama, again, they have a 5-star quarterback, which is crazy considering the recent recruitments of Eli Holston and Dylan Lonergan. You have Georgia with Dylan Raiola, a 5-star quarterback. And the crazy thing about Georgia and 5-star quarterbacks, I mean, I think Carson Beck was a 4-star, but he was pretty close to a 5-star. He's doing good, obviously. We know what he's done this year. Outside of not making the playoffs, he's looked phenomenal outside of that Alabama game. And even against Alabama, he still looked pretty darn good. So the question for Georgia is, can they hold on to a 5-star quarterback? Because you had JT Daniels didn't work out. He was a 5-star. Justin Fields transferred to Ohio State. Trying to think of who else here. But they have 5-stars coming in. Linebacker Justin Williams, cornerback Ellis Robinson IV, who committed back in February, almost a year ago, from IMG Academy. The things I want to talk about as far as Georgia is missing the playoffs should not hurt Georgia. Look at their class. Look at what they're doing. Look at the success that Kirby is having. And it's because of these recruits that Kirby is having the success that he's having. So with that, let me switch this layout here. What's up, Swin?
I guess you didn't keep up with it. Dylan Raiola's going to Nebraska.
That's right. I did see that. They must not have updated it on here. I did see that the other day, actually. I should have put that in my notes,
Yeah,
and I apologize. Yeah. But
shame on
outside
you.
of that, Georgia's looking pretty good, though. Yeah. uh,
No, they
but
are.
would
They're
you
looking
agree
good,
with,
but
yeah.
they have another quarterback in the class who a lot of people, at least based off of high school, say looks just as good.
Are you talking about, is it the Ryan Puglisi? How do you say
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just good at mispronouncing it. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. I noticed they've stacked up on offensive linemen, too. You know, you got Michael Uni, Sokovie White, or he's a wide receiver. I'm sorry, Marcus Harrison. I meant to say, Nair Daniels. They're building the offensive line. I'm actually kind of curious about that. I didn't read too much into the Dylan Raiola thing. He is going to Nebraska. I apologize for that misinformation, but I'm curious as to why. I want to know the why behind that because it has to be NIL. No 5-star quarterback just goes to a place like Nebraska.
Why not? You know that coach is going to get you to the NFL because you know everybody knows he knows what it takes to make it in the NFL.
Yeah, but all I'll try to say is if I'm a 5-star quarterback, if you took away the NIL, let's say we don't have that for a second. I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to Bama, probably going to Ohio State just because of recency with what those coaches have been able to do and what championships have been brought in. I know it's been a minute for Ohio State. It's been almost 10 years, but they still have made the playoffs on a more consistent basis and stuff. So I just I look at that from a quarterback perspective, and I guess it does boil down to what you want. And you do make a good point about Matt Rule and his success in college, what he's been able to put in the NFL. That would make a lot of sense for a guy like Dylan Raiola if ultimately that is his goal, which we are going to sit here and say 100%.
Well, even beyond that, you are looking at it like you said with a huge amount of recency bias, and I think you buy into just based off of what you said. I think you buy into the talk that Nebraska can never be again what Nebraska was before, and I think that's complete and utter horseshit.
Yeah, I would agree.
This happens in college football. Teams are up, teams are down. Nebraska was on top for almost 40 years.
Yeah,
Unprecedented. No other program has been able to do that. Not like they did.
right.
So, okay, since the mid 2000s, they've mostly been down with a few exceptions, but doesn't mean that Nebraska's not. I mean, that's one of the richest traditions in all of college football. I don't buy into the whole narrative that this team can never be successful again in college football.
No, I mean anyone can have success if they recruit well, if they use the transfer portal, if they just coach right. And I think Matt Rule, I think he did great this year. And I think with
Excuse
his
me.
recruiting so far is it going to be an upward climb? We'll have to wait and see. But I would project that.
Yeah, and then like I said, it a lot. One of the main things I think players look at is chances to get to the NFL. And
Yeah.
Matt Rule had success in the NFL, so he knows what it takes to succeed there, and players are going to look at that.
Yeah. How is let's look this up real quick. How's Miami looking right now for next week?
They were sitting at number 5 last time I looked at it.
They're at number 6. It looks like Florida jumped you. Or no, actually, so it tells us in the rankings, according to 247, Georgia stays at 1, Ohio State at 2, Florida State rose from 5 to 3, Alabama from 6 to 4, Florida from 4 to 5, Miami rose up a spot from 7 to 6. I don't know if you follow on 3 or whatever. I mean,
Well, no,
but
I usually
they
just
could have
tend
been
to
at
look at
5 a
the.
couple weeks ago, but
Well, this was as of last week, but I look at the 247 composite, which adds them all up and then averages them out.
yeah. And they got a 5-star,
Um,
Justin Scott, looks like.
yeah, Justin Scott, and they have a wide receiver that's considered a 5-star on like 2 other services, but on 2 of them he's not. So that, and they've been making a real hard push for another one. Um, Jeremiah Smith, the Ohio State commit.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith, the Ohio State commit.
Yeah, I noticed Ball, he loves, he's definitely building on the front end of defense. I mean, you got Marquise Lightfoot, who's an edge. Zaquan Patterson is probably one of those athletic linebackers. I don't know, ATH, I guess that's athlete. That's usually a linebacker. So Artavius Jones is a defensive lineman. Booker Pickett is a edge. So you got quite a few guys there. I think that he just needs to come into this and say, we have a top 10 class right now, number 6, number 7, whatever it is, and use that as momentum. But it's coaches like Mario Cristobal, and he was able to do it at Oregon. But personally, I don't know about you. I know you're a Miami fan, so you could probably disagree or say otherwise. I haven't seen him take a class, and I know he's only been there 1.5 years or something like that right now, to where he's been able to produce it on the field like he wants to. But it does take time.
Well, it does, but also look at what he did. Like, he was only the head coach at Oregon for 3 years.
Yeah.
So, and that was his first Power 5 head coaching job. Now, everybody looked at the talent they had and why didn't Oregon make the playoffs? Well, I think that's a little unfair to heap expectations like that on a guy that's on his first Power 5 head coaching job and say he should have made the playoffs 2 out of his first 3 years.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not going to put expectations or anything on him right now, but I think that, I think really what it is, if there's any pressure, I think it's to get Miami back to what it was in the early 2000s at some point, not now, but I think at some point, obviously, you Miami fans probably want that, obviously, but
I don't know. I don't know if that'll ever be recreated.
Right.
That's almost an unattainable goal. I'm not going to say that was the greatest team ever made, because there are other teams in contention for that, but they're in the argument.
Yeah.
And if your goal is to recreate that, you're almost out there just snipe hunting.
Yeah.
But I mean, just off of sheer talent, he's going to have them in the national conversation here within the next year or two, year in and year out, just based off of talent. And, like we talk about all the time with players developing, coaches develop over time. So is Mario Cristobal a playoff caliber coach now? No, probably not. Will he be in 2 to 3 years? Quite possibly.
He could be. And the big thing is, too, you got to take advantage of opportunities out there. And NIL is not going away anytime soon. In fact, it's getting more popular by the day. I mean, I'm not for NIL, by the way. I've never been. I think it's dumb. But I've accepted the fact this is just where we are in college football. How do you think it would apply as far as Miami down there because, I mean, NIL is big in some programs. It's not real, believe it or not, it's not the biggest at Alabama, even or Georgia. They're just
What?
recruiting out of their minds because of what they've done in recent years. Whereas you have teams
Well,
like a Miami that might have NIL advantages, probably.
well, and I'm kind of with like I'm fine with NIL the way it's supposed to be. I'm not fine with it the way it is.
Yeah.
Now that being said, no, it's not going to go anywhere, especially in the state of Florida because NIL is now state law,
Yeah.
and there's nothing anybody can do about that without repealing laws. But it's also not true what you're saying about Alabama and Georgia as far as NIL. Because we've heard it out of Nick Saban's mouth. We've heard it out of Kirby Smart's mouth. I mean, you can't say, and I've heard a lot of Georgia fans say this, you can't say, well, Georgia's not big in NIL, they're just recruiting well. But Kirby Smart gets up in a press conference and talks about this player and this player have got top 4 NIL deals in the country.
Yeah.
So it's just as big in these other places.
They're big in NIL.
Yeah.
Pointing out the
now,
fact
I do think
they're probably not the biggest, but
and possibly not, and neither is Miami, by the way. Like, sure, the entire team has an NIL deal from like one sponsor, and like everybody looks at John Ruiz because he's the loudest, he's the most vocal out there.
Yeah.
But what he does with his company with NIL, every player on the team gets the exact same deal, and it's like $50,000 a year.
Oh wow.
And I think that's probably the best way to do it. Now, obviously, you know, other players are going to have other advantages, and that's where it starts to stack up. Like, you know, Tyler Van Dyke was upwards of $500,000, but he also had 6 different NIL deals.
Yeah.
But actually, and I hear this a lot about Miami, that they throw that money around a lot. As of right now, to the best of my knowledge, the most a single player has gotten from Miami was $800,000, and that was a basketball player.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. 800,000 basketball.
Yeah. Now there are rumors that because Cam Ward is expected to transfer to Miami, there's rumors that he got somewhere in the neighborhood of a $2 million deal. But as of right now, it's just rumors.
Yeah. It's just speculation, which is just a guess.
Yeah. Which, and even with Miami, it's hard to figure out because it's a private school. They don't have to make any of it public if they don't want to.
That's right. Yeah. No, I mean, you can hold back. Like, it's not like the NCAA comes to your house, holds you at gunpoint, and says, "Who are you giving NIL deals to?" It's not like that. So, like, they don't. I mean,
well, no. What I mean is, like, Alabama's a public school, Florida is a public school, Georgia is a public school. The University of Miami is a private college. Duke is a private college. Stanford's a private college.
the inside stuff doesn't have to be.
They do not have to publicly disclose it. No.
Okay. That makes more sense then.
Yeah, Notre Dame's another one. They're a private school.
Yeah, isn't Duke isn't that a private, or are they public?
Yeah, Duke's private. Stanford's private. I think Vanderbilt is, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, TCU's a Christian school, but I don't. Are they?
TCU's a private school. Yes.
Yeah.
But stuff like I said, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Florida State, Texas, those are all public universities.
Yeah. And notice those teams you just named are the bigger brands in college football, as far as maybe all time record and stuff like that. But they're just big brands in general in the, market of college and academics and,
Yeah.
all of that. So, I mean, of
Well,
course,
academically, it tends to be private schools tend to kind of lead the way on that.
okay.
But I think as far as big brands, Notre Dame and Miami are probably the biggest private school brands.
Yeah. So.
But now back to recruiting. I know they haven't said who, but the people that follow recruiting much more closely than me have said that Mario is going to flip one more big time guy, and a lot of people are thinking it's going to be Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith. Okay. Where's he? Remind me again. I think maybe we just talked about him, but he's committed to where?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. That'd be good.
He's the
If you flip a guy from Ohio State, that's huge.
well, and we flipped Mark Fletcher from Ohio State last year. We're looking at they think they've got another running back from Ohio State flipped. Justin Scott was a flip from Ohio State.
Yeah.
And apparently, even though Armando Blunt flipped to Florida State, apparently that whole thing is not done yet either. So that's possibly 2 more 5 stars, a 4-star running back that could be added to the class.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith is at the he's at the top of the player rankings.
He may be I know he's number 1 receiver. He may be the number 1 overall recruit. Don't quote me on that, but
that's what it's saying here on 247's player rankings. He's number 1.
There you go.
At Ohio State.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a flip.
I mean, imagine what that does for me. Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
And then Armando Blunt reclassified from 24 to 25 or 25 to 24 and still remained a 5-star.
Yeah.
So Tennessee that'd be another hell of a get.
Shout out to BVD on this. Number 14 overall class. Tennessee has 2 5-stars. They got Mike Matthews, a wide receiver from Lilburn, Georgia. And then from Birmingham, Alabama, Jordan Ross from Vestavia Hills High School. He's a 5-star edge. So talk about Josh Heupel's going out of state and NIL, and which I don't like I said, I don't know all of the recruits that are involved with NIL and what schools influence, but I would think Tennessee getting players out of state like that are 5-stars, I'm sure it played a role.
Well, don't forget, Tennessee just lost Jordan Seaton to Colorado.
Jordan Seaton.
That 5-star offensive tackle. He, the one that came out on Undisputed and said that he was flipping to Colorado.
Yeah. Yep. The Tennessee, like I said, they got 2 5-stars. Auburn, I've been getting more into the in-state teams here lately. Auburn has 20 hard commits. They have 2 5-star wide receivers. Remember, Perry Thompson was for a while projected to Alabama. I think he did commit, but he flipped. And then Cam Coleman, I don't think he was involved with Alabama, but I know Auburn picked him up. Perry Thompson's from Foley, Alabama, and then Cam Coleman's from Central High School down there in Phoenix City, which is a pretty big school to get top talent in the state. So,
Well, and they're pushing hard for a. I can't remember if he's a 4 or 5-star corner from that's committed to Florida State. But apparently Auburn's going to have the last visit with him before signing day.
Yeah.
KJ something. I can't remember his last name now.
Is it the defensive back KJ Bolden?
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, he's been around. I had done a video earlier this year on him. I think back in February or March, we were looking ahead to this year's class, and I had talked about him. I probably watched some film, and I know I've seen some film, but I don't remember what I did talking about him. But I talked about, like, don't be surprised if he goes to Georgia or Alabama. He's from Buford, Georgia, same place as same high school as Alabama's freshman running back this year, Justice Haynes. That that seems like a big school to get some targets at least now. I don't know who the head coach or anything is, but you can pull some targets out of Georgia real quick. So I'm not surprised that a 5-star like him is committing to Florida State after their success this year. But I had put in my notes here that they get robbed. Whether you want to say they were robbed or not, I don't know. I think they probably should have been in over Alabama. I mean, if you're an undefeated Power 5 team, you should make the playoffs. But Florida State misses the playoffs, but you still have all these great recruits coming to Florida State. They have the number 3 class, 23 players committed. They still want to go play for Mike Norvell down there.
They do. And now, granted, that to me, there's still some questions on Mike Norvell's ability to develop. Quite frankly, I'm not a fan of the approach he's taken. And it kind of baffles me how he's able to recruit as well as he is, because he constantly brings in transfers to play over the guys that he's recruiting.
Yeah.
I don't really understand it. And I've never been a fan of trying to put a team of mercenaries together to win a title. I don't think it'll work. And I mean, let's be honest. I do think Florida State got robbed, but at the same time, do I think they would have won a playoff game even with Jordan Travis? Yeah, maybe.
I think without Jordan Travis, though, I mean, think about it here. They would have been the number 4 team instead of Alabama. They're playing Michigan. Michigan chooses a Rose Bowl. Forget where it's played or anything, but you're playing Michigan. We haven't seen, I'm not picking Michigan to win a playoff game until I see it. But I'd also say the same thing about Florida State. Like, who do you pick in that scenario? So, I mean, they probably would have been bounced by Michigan in a way. I mean, it probably would have been a good game. But
Maybe. I mean, listen, anybody's going to have trouble with Michigan. If you don't think that is a top 5 defense nationally, you don't know football.
Right.
Anybody is going to have trouble, whether it's Florida State, whether it's Alabama, whether it's Georgia. Anybody's going to have trouble moving the ball on them. But granted, I'm with you. I think, Power 5, no question, 13-0 should be in.
Yeah. But of course, that's not an actual rule in the committee's playbook. So, of course, they override it and everything.
Well, they make up rules as they go. They pick and choose what rules they want to follow, depending on which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah. Let's see.
Now, me personally, I've got Texas picked to win it because I think Texas is getting. You look at everybody over the last 3 games of the season, Texas seems to be getting hot at the right time. And you see that
They
in the
do.
NFL all the time. I mean, the teams tend to get hot going into the playoffs, kind of run that hot streak and tend to do pretty good.
Yeah. Do you have them? So you have them winning it all. Do you have them playing Michigan or Alabama for the title?
Oh, I mean, if you tell me to pick one now, I'm gonna go with Michigan, but I'm kind of with Vegas on that. That game's damn near a pick 'em to me.
Yeah, coin flip basically. I mean, I've yet to put my. I'm gonna try to do it this afternoon, but I've yet to put my videos together for my predictions. And I'll be honest, I think these could be like, well, not exactly like 2017. I know we had that Rose Bowl with Georgia, Oklahoma, but I mean, 24-6 was the Sugar Bowl with Bama and Clemson, kind of a blowout there. These could be like last year's though. Remember with Georgia, Ohio State, and then Michigan, TCU. Those are two of the closest playoff games we've had in a while, probably in history. And it wouldn't surprise me if we get that this year with these four teams.
I could see it. I
Yeah.
really could. I think Michigan and Alabama is just going to be a defensive battle because for all the praise I heaped on Michigan's defense, Alabama's defense is good too. J.J. McCarthy is going to have
Yeah.
struggles in that game because of Alabama's defense.
And Jalen Milroe is going to get pressured like every which way.
Oh yeah, Jalen. That this may be, at least statistically, could very well be the worst game Jalen Milroe's had all year.
Yeah, win or lose.
I mean, because that front seven of Michigan is absolutely vicious.
Yeah. I think you get one of each with these playoff games. I think you get a defensive game in the Rose Bowl, but I would not be surprised if it's a big shootout between Texas and Washington. Those offenses are great. I love Washington's defense too. And head coach Kalen DeBoer has just brought these guys together at the right time. I'll tell you what I don't trust though. Even though, well, I'll tell you what happened in week 2. Alabama was still trying to find their way with Jalen. So I don't want to sit there and say, well, Texas had the best defensive performance and blah 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 this and that. I mean, they did some things right. I'm not going to deny that, but I don't. I don't know if they could shut down Michael Penix completely.
I got more faith in Texas defense than I do Washington's.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not even particularly close.
If that's the case, then Texas should, in your book, I mean, basically win this game no problem. Because, I mean,
well, I'm not going to say no problem. I don't think Texas is going to shut. I don't think you're going to shut down Washington's offense. But Texas's defense is going to give more trouble to Washington than I think Washington's defense is going to give Texas's offense.
Right. What's up, Nate? Oh, here we go. We got Nate joining us. What's up, buddy?
What's up, y'all?
And I mean, there's something to be said too for how Washington is kind of like TCU last year, and to the effect of towards the end of the year, several other games have gotten close, but they just keep finding a way to win.
Right.
But if they make a national title, we're not having this 52-point deficit or whatever it was last year. Like we're not. None of that crap's going to go on because the thing is, you don't have. I mean,
why are people crying over that? Literally, like 90% of playoff games have been blowouts. Why are people crying over one?
Yeah, I agree.
Because it was a national title and it shouldn't have gone that way, but it did.
Okay, but TCU beat Michigan.
Yeah,
like TCU won a playoff game.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I'm just saying that
I
argument
know,
doesn't
I
hold
know.
any water for me.
Well, I know. I'm just saying it. Yes, it was embarrassment for me, but Michigan was a better team, but they still lost.
Well, the better team doesn't always win.
I know. I agree. So
Facts.
I mean, look at Miami over the past 15 years. They've been a better team than a lot of teams they've lost to.
yeah, I agree.
And to me, that's what separates football and why the whole argument for leaving out Florida State doesn't hold any water for me, because this isn't baseball. This isn't basketball. You're
Oh,
not
yeah.
doing a best of 5 or a best of 7. It's
Yeah.
a who's better on that day at that time.
Right. I agree.
I'd say a good example of this. You want to talk a little bit of Alabama? I mean, was Alabama a better team with Bryce Young last year than LSU and Tennessee? I think
I
at
think
least
so.
LSU.
I mean, Bryce Young was a better quarterback, but I would
Right.
actually say no, Alabama was not a better team last year.
Right.
That was a very undisciplined football team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you lost the Tennessee game. 17 penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And by the way, the Alabama fans that blame the refs on that game, shame on you.
Yeah.
They did that. They came out on social media like, "Oh, check the film, check the film, check the film." I'm like, look, I've watched it several times
Yeah.
by now.
Blame the players too.
You just had to not give up the last minute field. First off, all you had to do was have Will Reichard make that field goal late in the game, and they would have broke the tie.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. And we wouldn't have been talking about it.
Now, hey Ballard, I know you're. I'm actually cannot wait for the game for Monday on January 1st.
Yeah.
I wish it was tomorrow. I mean, that's how excited I am. But to be honest, I actually tried. It's not surprising to be honest. I tried to book a ticket.
You really?
Yeah, to Pasadena. Thinking about bringing my dad, but it was at the beginning it was like $150 for 2 persons. Yeah, no.
For a playoff game?
Yeah.
That's actually not bad.
Not bad. I didn't know. So.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
But that was the early session when the tickets weren't bought yet. So.
Well, and I guarantee you that those were not great seats either.
Well, actually, to be honest, probably nosebleeds actually, but it's better than nothing. So, I looked at flights from my city to LA, and it's cheap too. I was trying to find, but whatever. My point is, I want to go to a playoff game, not just for my team, but just for the experience of the games and stuff.
Yeah.
I told my parents it would be cool to go, not just for my team, just to experience it. I mean, if Michigan doesn't
win, I'm with you there. I want to go.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say that I wanted, I got so excited when I went last year to Bryant-Denny Stadium with Millis and X-Wing, and I went into it mindset yes, I was excited because it was my first ever Alabama game, but honestly, just being in the environment was amazing.
Now, were people nice?
If you ever get a chance, I really recommend going.
Were the people nice though? That's the main.
Yeah, they were nice.
Okay, that's good.
Except for at the end, you can go find this in X-Wing's video of the game from the whole experience. He put a vlog together. There's a part in the video, and I remember this. I could hear what they were saying and stuff. There were these guys, these Alabama fans, as the Vanderbilt players are walking back to the locker room, they're yelling and cussing them out. I mean, It was brutal. Burn your playbook. Go back to where you came from, and we don't want you here no more. You're not well. Blah blah blah. This and I'm like, this is Vanderbilt. What are you doing?
That's kind of
Sit.
embarrassing to be honest.
It is.
Yeah,
Man.
you're gonna. That's kind of embarrassing that you're gonna talk shit to
We
Vanderbilt.
beat them. Vanderbilt only had one loss going into the game. I'm talking. This was in September. It's like 3 weeks. Bama beats them 55-3 with Bryce Young, and these fans go off on the Vanderbilt players as they're walking back to the locker room.
Yeah, if I were a Bama fan, I would probably trash talk Bama fans for trying to trash talk the Vandy fans because it's kind of embarrassing to talk trash to Vandy.
Yeah. I want to double check my bowl picks. We did a bowl stream last week,
Oh, yeah,
but we
we
got
did.
some games. We got some games this Saturday. I want to double check who I picked for Saturday's games.
They're not all that exciting, but at least it's college football.
Yeah. Let's see. I picked Ohio over Georgia Southern, Florida A&M over Howard. Not that anyone really cares about games like that, but I wanted to. I want to win the bowl pick'em. So, Jacksonville State, Louisiana. I picked Jacksonville State. They have a better record. Most people have picked them, and I'm pulling for some in-state teams this year. I took Miami of Ohio over App State in the Cure Bowl. I'm actually. It's tough and it's close, but I took New Mexico State over Fresno State.
Who would
And then-
name a bowl called Cure Bowl?
What's that?
Who would name a bowl called Cure Bowl?
Avocados from Mexico.
Oh,
The LA Bowl, Boise State, UCLA. I took Boise State there.
yeah.
6-6 teams, kind of a coin flip almost. I'm going with an upset. I'm gonna go Cal beat Texas Tech here.
Mm-hmm.
Western Kentucky over Old Dominion. Marshall versus UTSA. I took the Roadrunners.
Yeah.
Those are Monday and Tuesday games there. The Old Dominion on Monday, and then Marshall and UTSA on Tuesday. Thursday, the 21st. I'd like to see South Florida win, but I took Syracuse.
To be honest, I have a question for y'all. Didn't like in the early, well not early, but because USF or South Florida hasn't been in the Division I, that I think they're a young program still, right? Like,
Yeah.
Who? South Florida?
Yeah. Well, no,
South Florida's been D1 for 2 decades.
Okay. Well, I meant what my question was, didn't they used to be like recruit good from South Florida? I mean, when they were
They had some
decent.
good years, I thought.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Yeah, but whatever. Yeah, I'll take the
Shout out to Sea Dog and Rec Talk on this one. I am taking Georgia Tech over Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Duke over Troy, James Madison. There's a lot of good picks here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dukes over whoever they play.
Troy.
Yeah.
I love to see Troy win it, but I don't. I got no point of picking these that I just picked who I thought would win. You'd like this, Nate. I'm going to say that Missouri upsets Ohio State.
I do think that too.
Appreciate it.
I do
Hopefully
think,
today gets better.
but yeah,
Yeah.
You think now is the passing? I don't know all about Missouri, but I know they pass balls sometimes. But what do you think for play calling. What sort of offense would show up for Missouri to beat Ohio State, in your opinion?
They'd have to make sure it's not about Missouri showing up; it's about Ohio State not going to the game.
Wow. I mean, we all we've been hearing from Ohio State fans how they wanted Devin Brown to start all year long, but this is his first game ever, I think. Devin Brown's talking about.
Is that running back from Missouri playing in the bowl game?
I don't
Schrader?
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if he's not, Missouri's probably screwed.
Yeah. Well, they could be screwed, but they still have that quarterback too. But that's not gonna help though.
Well, don't forget they got that little pudgy punter.
Yeah. Me too, Cody.
I for a little while thought about that Cotton Bowl, and with Kyle McCord gone, I mean he's transferring. So
yeah.
They go with Devin Brown. Do you trust him in a game like this?
That's what I'm assuming. Because I've been hearing Ohio State fans, like I said, all year long, when they wanted they did want Devin Brown to start the beginning, but Devin Brown was hurt. So I mean, I think he's more of a mobile quarterback than a thrower quarterback, but I don't know. That's my theory. But
yeah.
Speaking glad Kyle McCord didn't end up in Miami. Thank God. There were a bunch of people saying that's where he was going.
Well,
I didn't particularly want him.
He recently visited Nebraska, so this recently.
Nebraska got that 5-star quarterback in this recruiting class. And Dylan Raiola is going to Nebraska.
Yep.
Did he commit? I don't know. If that's so, he's going to start. I wouldn't say he's going to start, but he needs to start if he.
No, he doesn't. They need to bring in a transfer for 1 year, and he needs to spend his first year riding a bench with a clipboard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The vast majority of, especially quarterbacks, are not ready to come in and start game one. And if you can avoid it, you need to.
I mean, college football used to do college football teams used to do that, in 2010s or 2010s, but that doesn't.
Well, the teams have done it forever, and it was bad teams that did it.
Right.
If you can avoid it, you should.
Okay.
That was even the rule then, but it just, I don't know, man. People like to point to Trevor Lawrence, but the exception doesn't disprove the rule. It actually proves it.
Yeah.
He was the once in generational. But
they said the same other quarterbacks like Justin Fields or Bryce Young or TJ Stroud.
I mean, they were great, like Justin Fields.
Like, perfect example. Tua was not ready to come in and start game one. The reason you were able to throw him in at halftime of that national title game is because he played and actually ran the offense in the second half of all those blowouts that year.
Yeah.
That's why we need in the playoffs against Michigan, and then if they are able to advance, which I still don't know, that's why Jalen Milroe has got to be on his heels. I mean, he's got to be light him up, because if he gets hurt or if he doesn't perform well, I'm not denying talent, but Ty Simpson has not played enough to where he's ready for a playoff game.
Now, was he a 5-star? I mean, talking about Ty, but or was he a 4-star coming out?
Ty Simpson was a 5-star recruit last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know people say, and I believe it. I know people say 5 stars or whatever doesn't pan out to be good or great. I agree with that. And JD McCarthy kind of fits that in boat. He was a 5-star, but it doesn't mean that he's going to be great. But I'm kind of in the same boat as like Lou says. He's not that good. He's not that bad, but he's just decent. He's good enough to where Michigan.
Well, they don't ask a lot of him. They rely on the run game. They don't put the game on the shoulders of the quarterback.
And that's why people like Lou or any football analysts. This is about JJ, but I'm not saying. I'm saying I know what you're saying about Slim, and also I mean, they did the pass early in the season, but I think they should pass a little bit more, to be honest, against like Power 5 teams.
Yeah. That's right, Cody Hankins. Thanks for that reminder. Yeah, they got the SEC schedule release for next season. They have that airing on the I just know this, that Alabama gets Oklahoma, they get Georgia, they get South Carolina, they get then they get like their regular team. But they don't get the Mississippi schools next year.
Well, that stinks.
I kind of like this, at least playing Ole Miss. I never really cared too much about playing Mississippi State, but I mean, there were several good games, but
actually, I don't know why, but why is Mississippi State colors kind of similar to Bama? Why is that?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. But anyway, speaking of, I know it's next year's, but and just a spoiler alert, Michigan plays Texas at home next year for non-con.
Yeah.
This
Georgia. So Georgia's at Bryant-Denny next year. They've announced the time and the date for that. September 28th, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. It'll be a night game. I might have to. Oh crap! That's probably sold out. What am I talking about? Unless
I think you can look at tickets if you want.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I might have to save my money for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Mayhem or someone to tag along with me. We'll kidnap Mayhem and take him to Bryant-Denny Stadium.
You know he's going to talk a lot.
Yeah, he'll talk too much. I might have to take Chess. But thing is, I can't kidnap Chess. I might need y'all's help.
Well, that and Chess would have to buy 2 tickets.
Yeah.
Oh God. Chess, we love you, buddy. We miss you. I keep in touch with him. He's doing all right.
That's good.
He's still doing all his wrestling stuff. So
nice.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm on the. No, actually, let me go back. There's a ticket section here on UA Athletics.
I'm gonna guess it's like $252.
I bet it's like $300 for that Georgia game. I swear, man. If it's like,
which side are you on? That's the thing.
No items on sale at this time.
Oh wow.
What's up, Dog and Rappa? Again, click here. Here we go. Let's see. They have tours of Bryant-Denny Stadium this month since the season's over, but
yeah.
I don't know. Did anybody see that picture of Jim Harbaugh in Bryant-Denny Stadium with his binoculars?
Yeah, Seen that on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw somebody post that on Twitter, and I saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I'm assuming it's really funny.
It's only $25 for the wait list for season tickets.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's to get on the wait. That's to get on the wait list to have an opportunity to buy season tickets.
Oh, wait. I got to pay before I pay? No, never mind.
No, that's paying to have an opportunity to buy if you're lucky.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What about the individual game tickets?
Dude,
Well,
your
they
best
don't
bet
have-
is to pick out an individual game and get on like StubHub or something.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking at. Well, I'm looking at, but Vivid tickets usually are good. But
Well, StubHub's good in case the game gets canceled for any reason.
right, yeah.
Like I bought tickets to Miami, Arkansas State a few years ago because Arkansas State's less than 3 hours from my house, and the game got canceled because Miami didn't travel because there was a hurricane hit Miami the day before the game.
Yeah.
So, Jerry, do I still do the Unprofessional Sports Show? It's been a hot minute, but I don't know, man. We almost did one for the SEC title, but
And I don't know if you've seen Slim, but was it 2 years ago now, Christian? Ballard. Where I was going berserk about the first ever win for Michigan.
over Ohio State,
Yeah,
that was
2
two.
years
Yep,
ago?
it was on my channel. It's still up. I'm gonna go find it here. Hold on.
Oh, hell, that was 3 years ago. Michigan's won 3 in a row.
Well, according to yeah, I agree. I'm just telling. I went like berserk.
Yeah, hold on.
You don't have to play the whole thing, but you can just play.
I won't, but I'm gonna find when you lost your cool. We previewed the game last year, I remember, and then I talked about it this year with Mayhem. Let's see. Let's find that stream. 2 years ago. Now, what is this? I think this is it. Let me see here.
Oh, I forgot.
Here, Georgia Bulldog will put some timestamps for us. Let's see what these are.
One of them needs to be marked. Nate loses his shit.
Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm not gonna tell what happened, but
I'll see. I just saw the Edwards one-handed grab in the backfield.
Well, it's second
That
and 4.
was a heck of a catch. There's
I'm probably lying, probably.
Oh,
There was Nate.
wow.
Oh no, Jeff Webster. God, I miss him. I forgot Jeff was on that one with us. Y'all still hear me okay? StreamYard acted up.
Yeah, I can still hear you. Oh, there he goes.
Well, Ballard kicked himself off his own show. Time to get his channel shut down.
Damn it.
So what conspiracy theories are we going to talk about now, Nate?
I don't know. I guess you can call it unprofessional. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go again. There you go.
There we go.
Well, he's back. So much for that idea.
Yeah, I'm still at Wallace Area. Yeah. I'll go to UAB next, though. Probably, I was hoping the fall of 24, but honestly, it might not be till 2025 in the spring. We'll just have to wait and see. But
Now,
My boss is a UAB graduate.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I say my boss. Technically, he's my boss, but nobody looks at him as such.
Actually, I actually like the old coach for UAB like from like 2 years ago, where it was UAB was like winning like 10+ games a year in a group of 5. I mean,
Yeah. Well, they're in the middle of the Trent Dilfer era.
I know. I mean, they had a good run, but
Well, hell was it 7-8 years ago? UAB didn't have a football program.
well, yeah, I agree. Yeah, and then they what do you call
Well, that ain't no agree. They shut down their football program for a year.
yep.
Yeah.
Nate just agreed to a fact.
I mean, yeah, okay.
We love you, Nate.
Actually, I did saw that video.
Do shut it down, basically. What? Huh?
What? Is that true?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what happened to it.
No, this was only a few years ago. That funding was the problem. They didn't have the money, so they had to shut down the football program for a year.
Yeah. Now, but Bauer, do you think? I know some shit's kind of on the side of the cheating part, but it is what it is. But if NCAA doesn't do anything at all, which is I hope they don't. I personally think the most basically all the college football fans will probably punch the air or punch something if that happens. If the NCAA doesn't handle the investigation for Michigan's cheating.
Yeah, no. Look, there are a lot of people out there that are pulling against Michigan.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I think it's something stupid.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, Jesus Christ, playing 5-year-old little league baseball. They were teaching us to steal signs. I mean, what are we even talking about?
Yeah, and they're just crying.
And once again, stealing signs is not even against the rules as far as the NCAA goes. But stealing signs with a video camera is, which I just that's arbitrary. Like your method of doing it really makes no difference as far as I'm concerned.
The far as I know, I just saw pictures. That's all of Michigan stealing signs. So that's all I've seen.
And at this point, if you're talking about doing it with a camera, there's 5,000 cameras in every college football game.
Exactly. Now. And plus security cameras too. Now, I do agree what people think, but I just don't. I don't disagree with the whole cheating part. What here? Now, I don't know. I'm just a neutral. Okay, I still don't know. I'm neutral. I'm not either one side or other. I'm a neutral. I don't care. I just want to get this over with and just be done with it. But it won't be done this season. It's probably done in like 5 or 10 years or 4 years or whatever. But
Yeah.
It's just. Wait, you going to Rose Bowl?
No. I'm
Oh,
not going. But Zona was asking if I was going to watch it. If I'm not working, I will.
Oh, I know. I was gonna. I was about to say. I was about to be jealous.
No, I'm not that lucky.
Damn.
I'm not that lucky.
If you were gonna go, I'll be happy for you too. Actually, but
Yeah.
man,
I'm closer to the Sugar Bowl than I am the Rose.
yeah. Now, how many Rose Bowls has Bama been in?
They've
I know
been in a
Michigan has
few.
been, but
I don't know exactly.
yeah.
I know they were in the 2020 because they played Notre Dame in the COVID year. 1925, and they claim a Rose Bowl as a national title. Outside of that, I'm not sure. But
Yeah, I know. Well, I know my team, Michigan, has a worse bowl record than any. Well, was it any? But like most teams in Power 5.
yeah,
I mean, we need to fix that, but still, that's kind of embarrassing. No, actually, it is embarrassing. Not kind of. But you think it's going to be a low-scoring game, or is it going to be a high-scoring game?
Slim and I talked about that earlier. I haven't come up with an actual score prediction yet, but I would expect some good defense in this game.
Yeah,
17-14 wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I think it's
Sugar Bowl. Slim and I had a little, not like argument, but disagreement. I said for the Sugar Bowl it could be really high scoring. He said he could see it. I guess
Well,
he
no,
said.
I agree with. No, we agreed on that. That one's definitely going to be the higher scoring of the two.
Oh, okay. I thought we got into a disagreement earlier on that one. But.
No, well, I mean, you have a little more faith in Washington's defense than I do.
Yeah.
I mean, that was about it. I don't think Washington's defense is anything to write home about.
They're
and
decent,
I think
but not great.
I think Texas's defense is better.
Yeah, I agree.
And to me, that was another thing about the whole Florida State argument. Like, okay, I get your point about Louisville's not a world beater or anything, and I would agree with that. But Louisville had a top 15 offense. They scored 30-something points per game all year long. And Florida State held them to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I'm not going to give the score prediction to either team, but I'm just going to say the score prediction just for the score wise for Michigan and Bama. I will say like 24 to not 24, 27 like 24. Whoever wins. That's my score prediction.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be the lower 20s. Man, I can't wait. I don't know what's gonna be. I know it's gonna be New Year's Day, but bro, I just can't wait for it. I might go to the bar to watch it. So I know there's mostly Nebraska fans in bars where I live, but I know there's a little bit of Michigan fans in Nebraska where I live. So in Ohio State, surprisingly.
Yeah. See you, Jerry. Thanks for stopping by, bud.
But anyways, yeah, I gotta go back to work, and thanks for having me on, Ballard.
Thanks, Nate. I'll drop the link again if anyone wants to join. But thanks for Nate for coming on. Can I look up the Michigan Conference schedule 2024? Yeah, I think I've seen it. But I want to say they're playing USC. I don't think they get Washington or Oregon, but remember, I think they're leaving for the Big Ten too, aren't they?
I believe so. We have to go to
Yeah.
Cal next year.
Miami?
Yep.
Wow.
We had Notre Dame and Clemson on the schedule, but when they had to
Michigan
change
has
everything up,
hey, you want to talk about playoffs? I mean, this could be our national title, but we'll see. But Michigan in 2024 hosts Texas.
yeah, that's what Nate was saying a little while ago. And you're right, that could be the national title game. So we may get a rematch of the national title.
At Washington on October 5th, USC September 21st. Teams like Arkansas State, they open with Fresno State. Next year's that weird 2 bye week type of calendar schedule.
Yeah, because next year is a leap year. That's why.
It is a leap year. That's right. You get November 30th for all the rivalry games. They play Washington and Oregon. They host Oregon. They go to Washington. They play USC at home. They do not, of the new teams, they do not get UCLA. And I'd be interested to see. Obviously, we got the schedule release for the SEC tonight, so we'll have tomorrow like the full list of like Texas and Oklahoma schedule. I know.
Well,
they
Georgia's
got. What's that? What's up, Harry? Harry Leg. So they got to play Florida, Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Vandy is who Texas is waiting on from tonight's schedule release. But they got to host Georgia. They are playing A&M on rivalry Saturday, which I think is good. Because I
Well, you
don't.
knew they'd put them back against A&M.
Yeah, I don't. I think that was such a good rivalry back in the day, though, because that when Texas A&M split from the Big 12, they took it away, and I thought that was just bogus. I don't know. But it looks like Sark's going to have a pretty good 8-4, 7-5 record next year. Looking at this schedule, actually, I honestly don't know what to expect from them. I think they'll do better than Oklahoma, but I mean, they could beat teams like Florida at home. They probably handle Mississippi State at Vanderbilt. You better win that. Georgia's a loss, I would think.
You're assuming.
I'm
I
assuming.
don't get this line of thought that Oklahoma and Texas are going to come in and do bad. I don't get it. Oklahoma was a 10-win team. They weren't a bad team.
No, I mean, I think everyone recognizes what the teams did this year. I think the narrative is what they're going to do to start out in the SEC, and it's going to take some getting
I
used to.
understand what the narrative is. The narrative is the SEC is supposedly so much bigger and badder in every conference, but it's just not true. The SEC has a losing record to every Power 5 conference except for the Pac-12.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to burst the bubble of these SEC homers, but it is what it is. They can try and dance around their losing record all they want, but at the end of the day, if you're talking about conference, you have a losing record.
Yeah. South Carolina 2024. I don't know who they play outside of Clemson and Alabama. They play at Oklahoma, at Kentucky, A&M at home. They play Ole Miss. South Carolina gets Ole Miss on October 5th. Should be fun for them. Not really. Shout out to Twisted Rooster, by the way. I haven't seen him in here today, but he's been grinding out a lot of content.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Well, I can pull it up here. You guys get Florida to open up next season.
I'll be at that game.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
At
Miami's
USF.
probably going to absolutely fucking crush Florida.
Yeah.
Florida's going to be bad next year.
Is this the first time since the 2019 week 0, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This one's actually home and home, though. We got them in 24 and 25.
Nice. And what is Clemson doing next year? I know Clemson plays Georgia in Atlanta.
We had Clemson on our schedule next year until they added those three teams to the ACC, and then they changed up the schedule again and ended up knocking Clemson and Notre Dame off our schedule for 24. But we pick them back up in 25. 25, we got to play. I know it's set right now. We've got to play Florida, Clemson, and Notre Dame in 25.
Yeah. Clemson plays Stanford, Virginia, NC State, Louisville, South Carolina at home. They play App State at home, too, the week after the Georgia game. They got to play at Florida State, at Pitt, at Virginia Tech, at Wake. That's a lot of tough road games there. I don't know what's going on with Clemson, man, other than they lost their coordinators and Dabo lost his mind. Like, just
Well, I mean, their defense is fine. The problem
defense is great, yeah, but
the problem
they
as
can't.
I see it is you have this season you had 3 coaches on that staff that had coaching experience somewhere else other than Clemson.
Yeah,
Like, that's a problem.
it's like they couldn't hire from within.
Well, that's exactly what they were doing. I mean, Dabo was hiring a bunch of former Clemson guys. C.J. Spiller, for example. C.J. Spiller
Yeah.
had never been a coach anywhere before Clemson last year. Or 2 years ago, whenever it was they hired him.
Yeah. Florida State. This is fun. I love looking at schedules ahead of time. Florida State at Notre Dame. November 9th next year. All right. Play teams like Memphis at home. They played the Ireland game on week 0 with Georgia Tech. I knew I had saw that a few weeks back, but here it is.
Yeah, we're going to send Florida State and Georgia Tech over to Ireland. That seems like a great idea.
Tennessee's supposed to get a big opener next year. Or, well, it's not their opener, but they play NC State.
I'm hoping they put that Miami Florida game on week 0 like they did back in 2019. That way we actually have a good week 0 game to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not a particularly good game, people are going to look forward to Miami playing Florida because it doesn't happen a lot.
It was funny that they did a week 0 that year. Well, I mean, I say funny, but like it was the 150th anniversary of college football. So like they wanted to do something special. So they do week 0. COVID comes around the next year. They messed it up, schedules, whatever. 2021, though, they did another week 0. And I'm like, then how is it so special? Like, you know, week 0 is just not that special anymore because now we're having it every single year. We're just kicking off in August. I mean, that's basically week 1. Octavian, what's going on, bro?
It'd be better
Yeah,
if
we
they actually
listen here. We getting ready for week 1.
Octavian. I said it would be better. It would be better, Ballard, if they actually put some games that people wanted to watch on week 0. But
Right.
I mean, look back to week 0 this year. Nobody
Who
gave
was it?
two shits about any of those games.
Northwestern Nebraska. I mean, the dumpster fire.
Yeah, that may have been the best game. I mean, the rest of them were group of 5 teams that nobody really cares about.
Yeah. Notre Dame played Navy, I think. I mean, I'd watch it because those are historic schools. But, I mean, Notre Dame could crush Navy. Not saying that out of disrespect, but, I mean, just calling
now, Octavian, tell us how bad that y'all are going to get beat by Miami in week 0 next year.
No. We gonna beat Miami week 0. We gonna beat 0. We gonna beat Miami.
Listen, man.
We're going to absolutely slap the Miami Hurricanes like they will. So we will absolutely slap them.
If Billy Napier figures out a way to win 4 games next year, he deserves Coach of the Year. Because that'll be an absolute miracle if he can manage to win 4 games.
Listen, and I'm gonna say this. If he doesn't win those first 4 games, he's gonna get fired.
If he makes 4 games, they should put him in the 12-team playoff as a reward.
If he doesn't win
schedule next year, as bad as Florida is, it will take a miracle to win 4 games.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win, his magic number is 8. If he doesn't win 8 games, He's going. He's going. He's going to pack his bags up and he's leaving Gainesville. And we go. Listen, the coach that we're going to get, and I keep telling everybody, when we fire him, go after the University of Arizona Fish. He's a Gator alum. He is coming to. He's going to come to Florida, man. He's going to be our Kirby, and we're going to tear up the Southeastern Conference when we get him.
Oh my
No,
god.
I already know who they're going to hire. It's not going to be Jed Fish. They're going to hire
Dan
Steve
Mullen's coming
Spurrier.
back.
No, they're going to hire Steve Spurrier Jr. before South Carolina gets a chance to hire him.
Oh my goodness, we don't want Steve Spurrier Jr.
That's who you getting.
That's not who we getting. We're not getting that. I just want to know how many quarterbacks y'all have on y'all roster, Mr. Snow Shady Canes.
Let's see. 1, 2,
Just one.
3, 4.
You sure?
And if you count the quarterback in the recruiting class, that'll be 5.
I'm talking about that's actually starting for the Hurricanes.
Well, you only start one quarterback.
Yeah, and he a freshman or a sophomore or something like that against Rutgers. If y'all start him out there in the swamp, y'all definitely know y'all getting killed.
I guess you're not keeping up with the news. Cam Ward's going to be our starting quarterback next year.
He's not going to know Miami.
Okay.
He's not going there. He's going.
Hey, every recruiting service has him as a lock to Miami, but Octavian knows better.
No, he's not going to no Miami Hurricanes.
Okay. Hey, you may be right. They've gotten it wrong before, so you may be right. But as of right now, they've all got him as a lock going to Miami.
I heard rumors that Florida's looking in to get Tyler Buckner as the water boy.
No, they already need Tyler Buckner to be their quarterback because they can't even get. They done lost L.J. McCray.
Oh, that's right.
No,
that's right.
We did not lose LJ because he's still committed. Thank you, sir. He's still committed to the Florida Gators. When he put the paper, he's gonna be pen the paper. When he put the pen to paper next week, he's gonna be a Florida Gator.
Watch him go.
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say when he doesn't know? Because you already lost most of that coveted recruiting class.
Man, DJ Lagway's gonna lead the way.
Yeah, DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway is already decommitted from Florida. He's committed to Texas A&M.
Man, stop it, man. Y'all Miami fans are really something.
What does that got to do with Miami? Keep up with recruiting. He committed to Texas A&M and decommitted from Florida.
That is fake news, man. He's a hater, man. Where are you getting this information from? You getting South Florida information from? I don't know what's going on down there. But y'all just making up.
It ain't got nothing to do with down there. It's on Twitter. On3 reported it. 247 reported it.
On3 is lying, man. Oh my goodness.
On3's lying. 247's lying.
Y'all have turned into the Georgia of the ACC, man. What is going on? What is going on down there? Y'all just making fake news, talking about Trevor Etienne going to Georgia.
That's where they're projected. And once again, this ain't me. This is the recruiting services reporting this. This is 247. This is On3.
The Miami Hurricanes will never be relevant in football.
Well, see, he
Good Lord.
That statement. Now, what were you saying?
Lord.
You cut out, Octave.
I said y'all never be relevant in football again.
Okay.
Y'all is hard. Y'all is right there with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying.
We take that one. We take this wide receiver from Miami, that Kobe Young dude. We'll make him into a superstar in Gainesville.
Okay.
And for the Bama fans, we got Ja'Cory Brooks. We got Ja'Cory Brooks on the visit.
You do realize he was like the third best wide receiver on our team, right?
All he was known for was catching a game-tying pass in the Iron Bowl. By the way, Ja'Cory Brooks. I mean, he's
We
not.
we want. We'll take him. We will take him in a heartbeat. We getting the Oregon quarterback Thompson. Well, we gonna be straight. We got a decent running back. We got Webb and Johnson. We ain't worried about ETN. We got another running back.
All
What's
right,
the
stop it.
Mississippi?
Listen, ETN is an elite running back. So to act like you don't need him is bullshit, Octavian.
We
I'm
don't.
not
If he
Florida fan, and
doesn't,
that man's an elite running back.
if he doesn't want to be a Gator, fuck him. If he doesn't want to be a Gator, we don't need him. We do Gainesville. We will gladly listen. If Justice Haynes gets in the transfer portal, we'll take Justice Haynes.
Who said he's listen? I think Roy Dell. Hey, he might be going pro. Next man up at Bama next year. Come on, Jay Haynes.
I
mean, there are some guys out there like Justice Haynes or whoever. Honestly, like there's some guys that we kind of talked recruiting this morning. Like, think about it. There's so much depth at Alabama and Georgia. Why wouldn't teams like Miami or Florida for you guys like flip a guy or two?
Yeah, we're gonna be flipping that guy from Miami. We're gonna flip the guy that they just flipped from us just a few couple of days ago. That defensive tackle is coming back to Gainesville.
Hey, Octavian, all you can say at the end of the day is Merry Flipsmas.
Well,
Yep.
I know you mad about that, Octavian. Talking about Kendall Jackson.
Oh, we want Kendall Jackson back. We hard at work to get Kendall Jackson back right now as we speak.
Hell, that wouldn't be the first person Miami's pulled from Gainesville High School.
Those Hurricanes is this, man. You gotta watch out for those. They are tricky. And then 2 years later, after they done offer him the bag and stuff, he's coming back home. He's coming back to Gainesville
Oh,
after he collect y'all money. Come on back home, and we'll give you the bag here too.
I heard Billy Napier is so desperate for a quarterback right now too. Ever since Anthony Richardson left, I heard he's trying to offer Tim Tebow a scholarship back.
Hey, Octavian.
Just right.
Who was that quarterback that y'all couldn't get last year? Where's he at?
First off, where he was at before he came back to us? Where he was before?
Are you talking
Let's
about
not forget,
that 5-star?
I'm talking about Jaden Rashada, the one who said that checks they ain't got no money.
He signed with Miami and then took their money and then come to us, then took it and then came to us and then went to Arizona State.
He never got any money from us. What are you talking about?
He's got the
talking
money.
the same crap to Miami that he did to Florida, and Miami said they wasn't paying him that money. Florida said they were going to pay him that money, but their check bounced.
What's going on, Harry?
Morning, guys.
Mr. Harry. Mr. Harry,
why are they bouncing checks in Gainesville?
Pardon me?
I said, why are they bouncing checks in Gainesville?
Goodness.
You broke up. I'm sorry.
I said, why are they bouncing checks in Gainesville? Is their credit not any good?
I think them Bull Gators is tired of Sunbelt Billy and pulled the money.
Uh-oh.
That's what I think.
Dan Mullen's coming back to the Sun Belt, to the Sunshine State, not Sun Belt. What the hell?
I don't know about
Hey, listen. I will take Dan Mullen, honestly, to be honest with you.
The guy that didn't
At
want
least
to
you know how to
recruit.
fucking win.
Come on, you take
He-
him back.
I'll take him
He
back.
never wanted to recruit.
I'd take Dan Mullen as an offensive coordinator any day.
I'll take him.
I take him as that. I was making a joke about him being the next head coach again.
Well, the
I don't
next
know.
head coach will be Jed.
As
The next head coach will be Jed Fisher. The next head coach of the Florida Gators is the University of Arizona. When Arizona wins 10 games this next year, he is packing his bags and he's coming to Gainesville. I'm telling you.
what connections does Jerry Kill have to the South?
I
Jerry,
don't know.
who?
He's the coach of Arizona.
Jed Fisher's a
Oh.
Gator alum. He's a Gator alum. He coached with Spurrier
You're
back in the day.
Okay, you're not talking about the head coach.
I'm talking about the head coach of Arizona, the Arizona Wildcats. He used to coach under Spurrier. Matter of fact, he coached in the
Mixed
in
up
the
here.
Sugar. He coached in the Sugar Bowl against the Miami Hurricanes, the one that we I question that we lost to Miami. I still question it to this day. But yeah, that's the he coached on the Spurrier and that would be a
Octavian,
great
wait a
hire.
minute. Wait a minute. You talking about that one where Miami absolutely obliterated y'all? What are you talking about? You question you lost the game.
I question that, man. They had something going on down there at that time.
Oh, Lord.
But we won't talk about at that time. But everybody knows if we didn't lose to Tennessee the next year, they knew what would have happened. They knew what was going to tear them up. Rex was going to tear them up. That's the best quarterback that didn't win the Heisman, Rex Grossman.
Yeah, you also said that Rex Grossman would have beat Miami. Sir, he lost to Miami by like 30.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, he would have beaten them that 2001 season for sure.
He lost to him in 02 by 30 in Gainesville.
Yeah, but that wasn't a Spurrier led team. That was Runs Up first year. That was Runs Up first year, and we was
Bill
going through
Spurrier never beat Miami, sir.
he beat him at South Carolina, didn't he?
No.
Yes, he did. He did
No,
beat
that
him
was
at
not
South.
Spurrier.
That was Spurrier. That was
Okay.
because the next year he quit it. He quit it at South Carolina the next year. I always
What
remember
year?
that. That was
Octavian.
13, I believe. I think it was 13 or 14. Y'all was playing in the
Look it up.
Independence Bowl. Matter of fact,
Spurrier was gone.
Oh, okay, it's okay though. Guess what? The Hurricanes will never beat the Hurricanes will never beat the Gators again.
Okay.
It's only a matter of time before y'all give us that trophy, or we'll come take it down there from y'all.
I think if they met on a field today, Miami might win the game over Florida by like 24 points.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah. Notice
Are
I
you
said
serious?
that comment. I said that
You're the
comment
only
with
one
a
that
straight
doubts it,
face.
Octavian.
I highly doubt it. Miami is hot trash. They can't even fill up their stadium. You think they can honestly score 30 points on the Gators in the swamp? Are you serious? That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna fly at all. That barely put 20 on the board. Good Lord. Mr. Harry, man, have fun with ETN because when it comes down to the cocktail party, we're gonna break ETN little legs there, buddy.
Oh, get out of here, son. We don't even know if he's going to sign with Georgia anyway. And that
We're gonna
PJ
break his leg.
defensive end, I
We're
think
gonna
he's
break him.
better than him. But the rumor is that he's headed to Nebraska to play with his brother. We'll see. Uma, whatever his name is, Uma something or another. The edge rusher.
That quarterback y'all,
Yeah.
that quarterback that y'all was hyping up to come to Georgia, it looked like he's going to Nebraska.
I let him. I mean, let's face it, this is the craziest stuff you've ever seen in your life going on right now. There's more rumors and stuff going around than you can shake a stick at or put your hat over.
But I honestly think ETN might come back. It depends on the offensive coordinator. Which we still have not. We have not found one yet. I really don't know. I'm head scratching. But I'll tell you what, if Billy calls the flesh this year, and it's all on him, and he's getting fired.
Well, the rumor floating in our circles is that the reason ETN and the other guys splitting is because of coaching, and they're not happy with the situation at Florida, and they want to be coached up. So read into that what you want. So now Florida's problems are far more complex and deep than you're willing to admit.
They are.
Well, at least we're not the Miami Hurricanes. I'll tell you that. At least we're not them.
Why would you say that?
They don't have they have one quarterback. They're one quarterback away from playing quarterback.
Well, I don't understand. I don't see where you're getting your point here, because it's not Miami that's in turmoil organizationally like Florida.
Well,
Florida has got
actually,
trouble at the foundation.
Miami's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
We're trending in the right direction.
So, you got to keep it correct. I know you're a partisan and all that, but gee whiz, you got to recognize the obvious.
Yeah, they trending in the right direction until they get to September, when they come to the swamp. When they get beat, then all the Miami fans is gonna point at Mario about why we lose to the Gators and all that. But I just want to say we got a bet next year. We might have been young this year, but all those freshmen is gonna be sophomores, and they don't play SEC little ball, and we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be ready next year.
Goodness.
We're gonna be ready.
Yeah,
Our defense is gonna be our defense is gonna be nasty. Our defense is gonna be nasty. Now our offense, I wonder what we do on offense, because
well, let's
Octavian,
see.
I want some of the drugs you're on.
oh my goodness, the Miami Hurricanes will not beat the Florida Gators this year or next year. I'm just gonna say it here. I'm just gonna say it here live. I'm just gonna say it. We're pissed. First off, we're pissed off. We're angry, and we get the consolation prizes. We get to open up with them at home. Oh yeah, we're not losing that game.
How about this? How about you and Slim make a wager on that Florida Miami game? Because I was thinking, I want to see you on video dancing.
Y'all bet profile.
It's all about the you. It's all about the you.
I will do that. I don't mind wearing a Miami Hurricane if they win. I wouldn't mind it. But knowing that we're gonna win, I got confidence in my boys. We're gonna beat the Miami Hurricanes because we already pissed off.
You gotta have confidence in your team as a fan. You have to, but you also gotta be realistic. I mean, it's not like Florida's gonna walk in there and spank them. It's not like that.
Yep. I think so. I think so. For every team, I think so. I think we walk into the swamp, and we pull their pants down and spank them in front.
Oh,
that's how I feel.
You see that trophy on the screen in the right-hand corner? You see that thing that neither one of y'all's teams, outside of me and Harry Leg, is ever going to touch?
Oh my goodness!
No, I'm not looking at.
We touched a cup. We touched a cup. We touched a cup. We touched a cup of few. Just in not in 16 years we ain't touched it. But we'll touch it again. We'll touch it again.
Y'all ain't even
I'll tell
on
you
the
what.
stairs right now, Florida.
We'll touch it again. We will touch it again. We will touch it again. Trust me. It might be this year. It might be this. This might be the year that we touch it.
Oh,
Y'all gonna
Jesus
touch 1
This
in 11
year?
is what you gonna touch.
It's still 2023, buddy. The season's not over. How are you going to touch it this year?
This
The
season's
next
already
year.
over.
The next year.
2024? Yeah.
The next year. If we
You got a
win
big
every game,
Texas.
listen. If
Go for it.
we win every game, on our schedule, we should deserve
But
to
it
be the
won't
number one
happen.
team in the country.
But it
Deserve
won't
it.
happen.
Don't say it now. It might happen though.
If
Oh,
ands and
And
buts.
if that happen, I'm gonna be just like the Arkansas Razorback coach. What they say, the Gators are number one. We're gonna open up a can of cold beer. I wish we had offensive coordinator. I mean, offensive line coach. I wish he would have got fired.
Should be.
We need him.
Sam Pittman's a great master at the offensive line for sure.
We needed him as our offensive line because the two knuckleheads that we have at offensive line right now is hot doo doo, and
Yep.
we need all the offensive line help we do.
Yep.
But I still stand on what we say here. The Miami Hurricanes will be dominated in the swamp. Because Mario don't have they don't have an attitude. They don't have a swagger. They don't. They're the soft candy canes to me. They're the Miami candy canes.
They got something you don't have though. They got something Florida doesn't have though.
Oh my God! What do they have?
Turnover chains.
Oh God! They can turn it. They can take that turn. They can turn that turnover chain and throw it up.
Wait a minute. No, they
They
don't.
can throw the.
What's that?
They can throw it. They can throw it in the lake. They got Mario screaming, jumping up and down. That's what they have at Miami. Mario's fussing with referees and trying to get his way with everything. They don't have a turnover chain no more. We took that chain after we beat them in Orlando. We threw it in the lake.
Yeah. Well, I got stuff to do this afternoon, so we got to get out of here, man. Hey, thanks for coming on, Octavian. It's always good talking with you. Hairy Legs, Slim. I love all you guys, man. And we just celebrated 4 years on here. It's been a heck of a ride, and we're gonna keep building this channel, and we're gonna keep talking smack too.
I'm gonna try to go to Alabama's spring game here this year and see what they talking about.
Sweet. I want to try to do that too, but we'll see if I'm.
My first grade teacher said he's a Alabama football player, and he always I always go up there and see go up there every other year to see him and actually meet Nick Saban. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do here, and then I'm gonna go down there to the swamp this year. I'm probably gonna go down to the swamp and see how my Gators is.
All right.
See how we look against before we play Miami. But anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. Go Gators, beat the Hurricanes, beat the Bulldogs, and beat the Seminoles.
See y'all, Octavian.
All right, y'all take care. We'll see you later.
See you,
All right, y'all.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys for coming on. We got to get out of here, and it's been fun. Good to see you, Brandon. Kind of late to the show, but we will talk it up later on. Just wanted to talk some recruiting this morning and even more college football. It's almost 11 o'clock here. Got church tonight, and going to try to record playoff previews this week. Get them out for you. So love you guys. God bless. And from a Bama fan, roll tide. We'll see you.